Well, hello, 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 beautiful people. Look who we have here, Mr. Zack. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Paula?
Well, I'm doing well. I'm here in Canada, but I've been following this Blake Lively thing. There's so many things that are going on. Were you subpoenaed?
No, I was not subpoenaed.
Oh,
Not
thank
she
God.
knows better. Well, now she's withdrawing all those subpoenas. She's taking them all back.
What do you mean? I thought that she was still doing it.
She was sending them and she kept sending them and then she was sending more and then people started responding to them and filing motions to quash and then she was like, "Oh," and then she saw that like it was clearly blowing up as a PR disaster. So then she started withdrawing those subpoenas and telling the judge, "Oh, never mind. I'm not going to I didn't mean to. I take it back." I didn't.
That
So
is so stupid.
she's
I
withdrawing
mean,
the subpoenas now, yeah.
that makes her look so bad. I mean, who I wonder who her PR person was who advised her to do that, the most stupid move ever.
It probably wasn't even anybody advising her to do it. She was probably like, "No, do it." Like, I'm sure, was bulldozing it and wanting them to, subpoena everybody, and they were probably like, "This isn't a good idea," but, her and Ryan Reynolds, they know best, and so I'm sure they were pushing it forward, and then now it's come back to bite them in the butt.
And she subpoenaed pretty much everybody who was criticizing her. It wasn't even people, like people. I saw people that were just reporting on it and giving
Yeah.
their opinion on it. And it was like, you can't give an opinion on what's really out there.
Nope. Can't talk about it unless you're talking about her nicely.
Oh my goodness. So
Otherwise, it's
that's
a
over?
smear campaign.
That's all this mere company. So that's over.
So, yeah, she now I think she's trying to subpoena Justin Baldoni's attorneys and say that, they're
Is
part
that,
of the smear campaign, that they were hired to smear her specifically. Like, it's just
is that
she's
even
shifting
legal?
gears.
Is that even legal? Don't they have like attorney client
Client
confidentiality?
privilege. Yeah, I mean, unless you can prove that they were doing something illegal, no, you can't violate attorney-client privilege. So, I don't know what's going on in her head or what makes her think she has this type of power or what, but it's getting really desperate.
So you were never deposed. How dare she not depose you? It was like, no, and what else? Can you tell me? She was finally deposed, and apparently Justin Baldoni shot. Please keep update us on that because apparently she was shocked. And I gotta ask you, why was the deposition at her lawyer's office? Why did they give in to that?
She was claiming, I mean, she keeps asking for these protective orders because, I mean, I think she's just used to entitlement and like having special privileges. And so she told the judge that she was worried that like the paparazzi were going to find out and there was going to be a threat to her like to her safety. And she didn't trust, if the Wayfair parties were in control of it, then she didn't know what we didn't know, like something could happen. Like they've been harassing her and there's this smear campaign, so she convinced the judge that she needed to protect herself. And so part of protecting herself was being able to, one, determine where the deposition was going to be held. And two, she was also in control of who was going to be there. So she was well aware that Baldoni and his team were all going to be in attendance. They had to give her the list of names ahead of time so that she could review it. She couldn't say no, he couldn't be there because legally, as a defendant, him and Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Abel and Jamie Heath and Steve Sarowitz, they all had a legal right to be at the deposition. So they all exercised their legal right and they attended the deposition.
I'm still shocked they gave her so much power over that because usually it's like you go to the other lawyer's office. I think she's still exercising that privilege. And I'm shocked that the judge bent the rules for that.
Well, she is still technically, she's the plaintiff here. She's the one that's filing the lawsuit and she's claiming that they're, you know, out to get her. So unless there's more evidence that can come together, I mean, I don't know. I've tried to understand the judge's logic. I just think it's more of like, well, it's her lawsuit and she's claiming that they've wronged her, so there's a little bit more grace for her, especially considering these are
She's a victim.
harassment claims. So we'll see.
So she's a victim. So as the victim, they're affording her more,
Yeah.
okay, that they would get away with.
They're
Mm.
giving her a little more wiggle room, but it seems like every time she gets a bit of an inch, she really tries to stretch it as much as she can. And to be honest, like I get it. Brian Friedman came out the gate very aggressive, and I think ultimately helped win over the public with his aggressive strategy. But I understand how some of his tactics may have irritated the judge a little bit, and that's why now I think Friedman has cooled down. We don't see him doing all the theatrics that he was doing at the beginning because I think they saw that like the judge was getting a little annoyed with all of the media attention, and so Friedman kind of dialed it down, and we don't really see him as much anymore. And now we have Kevin Fritz, Baldoni's new attorney, that's kind of taking the lead. And so I think the same way Brian Friedman kind of annoyed the judge, I think Blake Lively's legal team is now going to start annoying the judge because she keeps trying to throw everything at the wall. Every week she's filing for sanctions and she's filing motions to compel and she's subpoenaing 100 creators and then taking away those subpoenas. So like she keeps flooding the docket with all of these random filings that I think it's ultimately going to end up backfiring. And the judge is going to get tired of her seeing that she's now becoming the chaotic one that's flooding the docket. Because think about it, if she every week she's filing 10 new motions, like the judge has to spend time going through each of those motions and
Yeah.
making a ruling on each of those motions. And he has a ton of other cases that he has to tend to that if Blake Lively is flooding his desk, like eventually he's going to get tired of her.
But don't you think he can at some point say, okay, that's enough? Can you, he also have the power to say, we're just going to stick
Yeah.
to this and that's enough. You're
Yeah.
you're
And listen,
basically you're clogging the system.
he's threatened that before. If he said like if I start to see that you guys are abusing the PR, playing tricks like in the media, then like he made it very clear that he didn't want this to become a media circus. And now it appears, specifically in the last couple of weeks, I assume because the deposition was happening and they wanted to distract and kind of make it seem like now not only did her discovery or sorry her deposition happened, but we're at the tail end of discovery. So all the evidence is now being turned over. And so I think that's why she's trying to cause such a big, stink on the docket so that it kind of becomes confusing and chaotic. And, either she's going to be able to extend it further or she's going to find some sort of loophole to jump through as she's been doing.
That is, and the thing is, though, I was wondering about that Freeman. I kind of agree with this. Well, maybe a lot of people won't agree with me, but with the strategy at the beginning, because it was so brutal what was done to him that it was like kind of like an emergency intervention that he really had to put out. No, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what they did to him with that New Yorker, he literally was immediately canceled, dropped,
Yeah.
awards taken away. So I do feel that Friedman's reaction was appropriate and proportionate because given how swift the reaction was against Justin Baldoni, and people were absolutely writing him off. It was
Yeah,
like, you
he was
need to
done,
come
his
out and
career
say
was done,
something really
and to a lot of
strongly.
those people, his career still is done, like, they still don't believe him. I do think that he needed somebody like Brian Friedman to come out of the gate swinging and to hit as hard as he did, and to drop the video footage in the Daily Mail, because they needed to come out strong. But I think, the initial strategy was to get Blake to settle, and to drop the lawsuit, and I think that's why Friedman went so aggressive, and then ultimately, she made it clear that she's going all the way and she's taking this to trial. So I think now they have to kind of switch strategies. And now, you have Kevin Fritz who's really focusing on gearing up for trial. And Friedman's really good at that's his specialty is being able to get you to bend as much as he possibly can to get you to settle. But it doesn't look like she's settling or dropping this anytime soon. It looks like she's taking this all the way to trial now.
Mm. And how was her deposition? Did we find out any news? They leak anything? Where's Taylor Swift and all of this? She's been pretty awfully quiet. The
Taylor's
godmother,
been
isn't she the
yeah.
godmother of her kids or something like that?
Yeah, Taylor's the godmother of all 3 of her kids and is very quiet. I don't think Taylor wants anything to do with this. I mean, if that's your friend and you believe her, you're gonna stick by her no matter what. So
Yes.
we saw that at the deposition, we had, Ryan Reynolds attended and her sister Robin attended with her. So they were at the attorney's building, her attorney's office, but they didn't actually get to be in the deposition room. I think only her attorneys were there, and she had 8 different attorneys that were present.
What?
Yeah,
That's a baseball team. If you think of 9, you need in the field.
yeah,
Why
I'm sure
8?
it intimidation, incompetency, I don't know. It could be a number of reasons. It's crazy though that she
That's
showed up with
that's a
8.
baseball team. Or a soccer
8
team.
attorneys. Anybody with strong evidence doesn't need 8 attorneys to try and prove their case.
No, not at all. Not at all. Oh my goodness, I
So,
did not
I
know this.
assumed the deposition didn't go too well, or at least it went as well as they were expecting, possibly worse, because she's trying to hide the deposition. So now she
Who's
just
trying to
filed
hide the
for
deposition?
she wants it to be under seal. She doesn't want it to be made public, and
Oh,
so
can that be
in one
done?
of the recent filings from Baldoni's team, um, there they reference they reference her deposition and something that she says in relation to the smear campaign, but they redacted the exact quote that they used in their letter to the judge, and she immediately like freaked out, and now she wants to have sanctions against them for leaking her deposition because they filed it and they put a quote in their latest letter even though the quote is redacted and we don't know what is actually said. They're now trying to make it seem like, Baldoni's team's trying to leak her
I,
deposition.
I mean, this is, to me, and I know this probably people disagree with me, but this is me. I believe that this woman was hitting on Justin Baldoni. She was rejected. Ryan Reynolds found out this sexy messages of no teeth, and
Mhm.
I just think these things got out of control. I think she lied to Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift believed her.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, this is the most stupidest case I've ever seen in my life with a woman who has access to real power,
Mhm.
or people a very good PR and money, and a husband who's an idiot and has a big ego and cannot conceive that another man can be more desirable than he is. And I mean, I've seen Justin Baldoni; he's ripped.
Yeah, he looks great. I can understand why she fell for him.
You believe that too, right? That you think actually there was something. I know, I believe it too. I agree with you.
1000%.
That no teeth thing, even
Yeah.
City gets it, because City used teeth, right? But it's absolutely shameful that they're wasting court's time. There are other more important cases. They have already, like you said, you kind of mentioned that people still don't believe Justin Baldoni.
Yeah.
Is
And I
it
think
really
that
a
was
thing?
by design. She did it intentionally to make sure that, she cut off all of his resources.
That's insane. But the billionaire is still sticking by Justin Baldoni, right? The
Mhm.
friend.
Well, he's also sued in it. He's in the lawsuit too, that she's suing him as well. So, he's in it as long as Justin's in it.
Do you think it's going to go to trial?
I mean, at this rate, yeah. I don't understand how she can be so delusional to keep fighting, but it seems like she's gonna fight and take it all the way to the end.
Like, okay, with everything that we know or that if she were to take it all the way to court, do you think she'd win, or do you think we're gonna have another Amber Heard like fake crying in there? Because she's not that great of an actress.
No, I mean, but I think what really hurt Amber Heard was that people actually got to watch her on the stand and they didn't believe her, right? That's why they were able to call her fake crying or her fake acting or whatever. Whereas in this case, we're not really going to see a whole lot. It's going to be more of like the Diddy trial where we're going to get like probably some sketches from court, but for the most part, none of it's going to be live streamed. I'm sure if there are any
Oh,
video
no,
clips
it's
or transcripts
federal.
that'll be added into evidence, we'll have those bits that we'll be able to see publicly. But for the most part, a lot of it, she's fighting to keep a lot of it under seal. So I don't know why she's trying to. I mean, she made all of her allegations in her complaint. So we should already know the story, right? There shouldn't be anything that needs to be fully redacted from her testimony that she wants to keep
Yeah.
her
Why would it be
deposition under
redacted?
seal.
Because it's not medical, nothing medical. I mean, and God knows she was very public with that stupid uh, report that they did on Justin Baldoni that was planned to ruin him. I mean, she wasn't redacting anything. She was adding stuff to the messages like smiley faces or removing them.
Yeah.
So do you think that she might win if she goes to court? With what
Um,
you know. Okay, objectively speaking, Zach, for reals, like, do you think um
I don't know if she'll win. I mean, here's the thing, if it goes to trial, she has to convince a jury, and I think she has a lot of theories, and I think she has a lot of stories, and I think she has a lot of feelings, but I don't think she has a lot of evidence, And so when it comes to, I mean, I think the strength that Baldoni's team has is pointing out the inconsistencies in her storytelling versus the what they have evidence, like the dancing montage scene. That's very clearly disproven. I know her team now wants to spin it and be like, no, it's exactly what she said that it was, and you can tell that she looks uncomfortable in the scene and blah blah blah.
I
But
said,
even just in the the way she described it, as he smelled me and said I smelled good, and it's like, and there was no audio, and then he's like, actually I had a mic on the entire time, you didn't know it, but I did. There was audio, and here is the audio, and I didn't tell you you smell good. You said my I'm sorry, my spray tan smells. And he responded, it's okay, it smells good. It was just a complete misrepresentation of what she was claiming. And I think once you have two or three, the birthing video that she described as pornographic, saying that she was nearly nude during the birthing scene, and they're claiming she actually has on black briefs. So I think her team's going to fight on every technicality that they can to get certain things dismissed or thrown out or evidence sealed. But I think when it comes to presenting it before the jury, the strength that Baldoni's team has is to show the inconsistencies in her stories and say, listen, if there are inconsistencies here where she's clearly lying, then how do we trust any of her claims? And I think that's where, they can shoot her credibility. And once her credibility is shot, then, there's not much left that a jury's going to believe coming out of her mouth.
how about that article from the New York Post? I mean, are they going to be able to disprove things? Because that's what they're really going for. That's what really set everything off. Because you
I don't
can
think
see
there's
there's
any
premeditation. They planned it longer than it was.
I don't think that they can do anything with it. I mean, yes, you can prove premeditation, but in order to do that, you have to be able to bring forth the defamation lawsuit. And she unfortunately was smart and made sure that she covered it in her CRD complaint. And she didn't go on record or give any additional quotes to the New York Times outside of what was written in her CRD complaint. And the judge determined that because it's a CRD complaint, it's protected. There's nothing, you can't be sued for defamation if it's in a legal filing. You do have litigation protections. And so in this case, it can't be considered defamation. So had she said additional things to the New York Times, had she been on the record in that article, which she wasn't, it was just based off of the filing, then they would have been able to have more to work against her. But in this case, everything that's in that filing is protected.
That's real premeditation. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
listen, it vary, right? Because you have the subpoena and just the way that they set it all up to put all of these protections in place. Like, she really made sure she protected herself. But not only that, I think it was really because she didn't expect him to fight back. I think she thought that she was going to be able to get her way and she was going to be able to win at the end of the day. And here he is fighting back, and that's where it's really making her look bad.
She underestimated him. You know what? It is women like her who give real victims a bad name, and that people like her make it harder for real victims to come forth, because then, like Amber Heard, they do so much damage with the lies. Clearly, like, she was just horny.
Mhm.
Sorry, that's really what it boils down to. And what's his name said, you're not my type, or I have my wife is actually quite beautiful. I simply love my wife, or whatever. And she just couldn't handle rejection. That's my opinion. People, it's very basic, but if you really strip it down, if you read the notice lively, baby, clearly this woman was hitting on this man.
Yeah.
Me, somebody said, do you think we're gonna get to see Taylor Swift's text?
It's possible. She's having to turn the text messages over. We don't know if she has yet or not, but she, will have to turn those over, and those will likely, I'm assuming, going to come up during trial or can likely leak somewhere. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if, in an attempt to get back at Taylor Swift, her own team leaked some of the text messages and blamed Baldoni's team, but said, look, at the text messages got out, somebody leaked them. And I'm pretty sure they'll be designed to make Taylor Swift look bad because Taylor Swift's not supporting her.
And do you think like, yeah, when is the trial supposed to be held?
March.
2026, though.
Hmm.
Wow, that's a long time. A lot of things can happen between now and March.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it all plays out, but I mean, it's crazy that she's still pushing forward with it, but it looks like she's gonna take it all the way.
Who's supporting her and celebrity wise? Oprah.
No, I don't know who's still supporting her, to be honest. Everybody that kind of spoke out for her at the beginning has kind of backtracked, and I don't think she has a ton of Hollywood support right now. I mean, she had like Salma Hayek who was hanging out with her, but I don't know if there's much to that. Um, Yeah, I don't know who in Hollywood is really sticking by her now, especially the more and more info that comes out and the more ridiculous she looks in all of her filings. Like subpoenaing all the creators was kind of ridiculous, and everybody looked at that and like rolled their eyes. And it's like you hired a former CIA agent to help you do PR, and you are subpoenaing creators because you don't like they're saying mean things about you. Like it all looks so ridiculous.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's mean or if it's just the facts that she doesn't like to be called out or caught out, like because there's mean and there's somebody saying, you know what, you're lying and we have the proof. What are you doing? Check yourself at the door kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's actually, quite awful. I was thinking about it because I thought like I don't know what she would be thinking and why she wouldn't just apologize, say it's all down to hormones. I misread the room. I didn't mean to do this.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
she
that's
was just a new
very
mom, right?
easy to do, yeah.
She was a new mom and she probably felt fat, rejected, whatever. You can chalk it all down to hormones,
Yeah,
postpartum depression, whatever. Be humble, apologize. You're ruining this man's life. Because even Johnny Depp, like with his thing, it's still people didn't believe him after he won and everything. There's people still supporting that skank of Amber Heard. But like, well, yesterday was a great day for America. Did you know that?
why?
It was Meghan Markle's 44th birthday.
Lovely.
You know what? I gotta tell you, because no, she congratulated herself on her as ever website or thing. Nobody congratulated her, and I was looking at the things that she has. And just today, Jamie Kern Lima, I don't even know what. And I have to ask you because you're pretty tuned into speech, right? Uh, do you get the lingo?
Yeah,
You do, right?
yeah.
Okay, Jamie Kern did something that I was like, why is this woman speaking like that? Such an infantilization of what she does. Um, because she did this, she posted this thing about Megan, that you're the sunshine or you're this of mine, and like, but it's like for her birthday.
Okay.
And I'm like, do women speak like that? And oh my God, why is she crying?
Oh my god.
At least,
Dramatic. The
but I mean,
theatrics of it all.
yeah, but she posted that thing, and I was like, who speaks like that? Like who talks like that? And then Abigail Spencer, who is not very many people congratulated the fake Duchess. Because
Yeah.
Abigail Spencer's birthday is on the same day as Meghan Markle, and this is what she shared.
Uh,
Yeah, they both share the same birthday, unfortunately. And this is what she said. I'm going to show it to you. And I mean, do grown women speak like that? Because I have my best mate. She just turned 54. I don't speak like that to Marie Inez. It's like, as glorious as the day I met you, champagne in human form, a creature unlike any other. That is for sure. Thank you for being a sister in this life and beyond. Words can't
oh,
capture from the rooftops. What were they doing on the rooftops? So grateful for your life, Megan. Thanks for saving mine. Love, Abs.
drama.
I mean, how did she save her life? You didn't know? Was there no news about Megan having a birthday yesterday?
I don't pay attention to her. I
No,
try to
that's the
avoid her.
thing. Like nobody, not even Oprah. Because I remember Beyonce once congratulated her for her birthday, but even Bebe is like nothing about the Duchess.
Yeah, I mean, she seems to be losing, the attention and the support that she had here.
But even the husband didn't wish her happy birthday. Not an article from Harry about his amazing wife.
I don't know. We've been hearing that maybe there's some trouble in paradise.
On the Montecito mansion, how can it be? This woman is perfect. What are you talking about? This woman is
In her
perfect. Did you
head.
hear Abigail Spencer? She saves people's lives and stuff like that. But Jamie Kern Lima said something like, I mean, why do they do this over the top stuff that is so stupid? They don't sound smart.
They don't. I mean, yeah, it's just all, virtue signaling and I love you and you're the best ever. And it's like all that Hollywood patting each other on the back.
Did you buy her wine by any chance or any of her
No,
products?
I didn't. I should have, though. And I could have
No, well,
done a
you have to
real
buy
review.
$100, 120. That's what it costs you to get those 3 bottles because you couldn't buy one.
Yeah, you had to buy a pack of 3.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna drink three bottles of shit, really? But no, I was shocked, and it's like I was like, I'm gonna ask Zach because I'm sure the whole of the United States rejoiced, and the Duchess's birthday.
Nope. People, I think, are getting tired of Meghan Markle, and she's not getting the same attention that she once used to get. I think people are over her.
Like I'm in Toronto, and Manuela took me to see where she lived. In the Oprah interview, she goes, "I gave up my house, my career, and I went to live in that like not caught that even Oprah said, you live here?" The neighborhood is a decent neighborhood for hardworking people, but it's clearly a less fortunate neighborhood.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
And trust me, Nottingham Cottage and the grounds of the most prestigious royal family in the world, where Prince William historical figures have lived. By the way,
Okay.
it's got 3 to 4 bedrooms, I think. Um, was when I saw the house because the illusion that you get when you hear her speak is that she lived this grand life in this amazing home in Toronto.
Okay.
It was all Jessica Mulrooney's home. But
Mm,
the house that Suits rented, because I thought she rented it, but no, Suits rented all the houses. And then I went to see where they had Sarah Rafferty, who was a secretary or some assistant of the other guy. Okay, Meghan Markle lived in what would be considered Compton in LA, here in
okay.
Toronto. Sarah Rafferty lived in what would be Beverly Hills 90210, Rosedale, the best neighborhood, I think, of all Canada, that Suits rented for her, and only for 4 or 5 months. Okay. And Manuela has 2 homes. She has one in front of then the one right next to her. So Manuela used to see when they would come and drop and pick up Sarah Rafferty. But it's amazing because it reflects the status of Meghan inside of Suits.
Mm, yeah.
Because Sarah Rafferty was in like the poshest. I mean, right across from her is what's called the prime minister that people you see like the cheapest house there is like 10 million. You have famous rock stars, govern. I mean, like everybody.
Yeah.
And Megan was on the other side of the road in a little house. And I mean, I got in because I'm going to do another video. I did a video today showing the streets and stuff like that. There is no way paps were following her and nobody would know. There's CCTV everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And the street is like, yeah, and the house has been improved because when she lived there, it looked completely different. So now it looks nice. So compared to how it was before, and I was like thinking, how can this woman? I swear to you, Zach, I'm still in shock. And this is why Manuela was so angry because the way she talked is like I downgraded when I met Harry because I had to live in this little shitty cottage, not caught,
Yeah.
like it was a downgrade for me. I left that. And then I found out that Suits rented the house. That city is snoring, by the way, so if you, she's a snorer. I was shocked. I still
Crazy.
can't get over it. In Soho House here in Toronto, is smaller than Manuela's kitchen. It's
Oh my
run
god.
down. Yes, it's run down. I really think it's a front. I don't even know how this woman made such a leap. How did she get? I mean, you got to give it to her. How? Zach, I actually thought of you when I was like, if Zach were here, you would say some comments that you would go like, and it has nothing to do with the neighborhood or being poor. It's just that she expressed as though she was grander, bigger than that her life here
Mhm.
was like so luxurious, a multimillionaire, that when you go and see that, it's like, what are you bitching about living in at Buckingham Palace or in Kensington Palace?
Yeah.
I was I was shocked. I am still shocked. And Soho House here, and next I'm gonna go see is Jessica Mulroney's house.
Mm.
Yeah, she knows she's getting separated now. So yeah, so it's been so I thought there would be like a big celebration in the United States for the Duchess.
No, I think everyone here is getting a little burned out by her. They're over her. Her and Harry, the royal refugees.
Well, I don't know, but Harry didn't even mention his beautiful wife. Meghan Markle didn't even leak a picture or an article about Harry saying this is from Harry's office, saying how wonderful his wife was, or do another challenge, 44 minutes per, like whatever, like when she did 40 by 40. I mean, it's I am just shocked that is she still being represented by WME?
Who, Meghan?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't kept up with Meghan.
Oh, come on. She's the goddess of the United States. What really does surprise me is that she hasn't sued any US newspapers who have accused her of bullying.
I'm sure we'll get one at some point.
Well, Harry's threatened to sue Andrew Lowney, the author, because Andrew Lowney published that he punched Prince Andrew, and broke his nose. Because he said some unsavory comments about Meghan Markle. I
Mm,
mean,
we
this
believe that.
I don't know. Well, this is Andrew Lowney is very respected, and he sent Andrew Lowney a threatening letter that he's going to sue him.
Not
But
surprised. We know how Sue happy they are.
no, did you hear about the Epstein list or names that were dropped this morning?
What were the names that were dropped this morning?
James Comey, Hillary Clinton, and the Clintons have apparently to appear before what you call it, Congress next week.
Yeah, I heard that they got subpoenaed and that they're supposed to be testifying soon, right?
Yeah, but James Comey, the former FBI.
Well, I think they're just going to question him to see what he knows. I don't think they have anybody's name that's like on the Epstein list. I think they're trying to dig up what everybody knew and what everybody was covering up.
Well,
I
they
think the
moved
only
his
one
name
that everyone's kind of like, oh yeah, obviously he was on the list was
28
Bill
times
Clinton.
Clinton.
Yeah.
But there's other names there as well. And
Yeah,
then
I saw there was a whole list of people that have been subpoenaed, and so they're now going to be questioned over the next several weeks. I mean, this case, it's finally everyone was like, "Where's the list? Where's the list? Where's the list?" And now we're getting the full inside look into what really went down with Epstein.
do you think they will plead the fifth?
They can. I don't think it makes them look good, but I mean, I'm pretty sure if there is something incriminating, they're going to plead the fifth for sure.
But I mean, if you have nothing to hide, why wouldn't you? Yeah, this is what Martha Gardil is saying. The Clintons may just take the fifth and not speak. I mean, I wish they would release the flight logs and up until 2019. That's all I want. Just release the flight logs,
Yeah.
the proper ones. But a bunch of them are, and apparently they moved Ghislaine. Remember that woman, that Theranos woman, the one
Yeah.
that Elizabeth
Elizabeth
Holmes.
Holmes, yeah, she's there. Jen Shaw's there, so now she's in Bryan, Texas. So I'm ready for Ghislaine just to spill all the beans now. Why are we hiding it? Why did the last administration kind of quietly sweep this all under the rug? Like, I want to get into all of the Epstein stuff. We've been waiting for the Epstein stuff. That's what, the Trump administration was so, big on in the campaign, was that they were going to expose everything. And now let's do it. Let's expose everything.
Let's roll.
Yeah, I'm
And
ready.
Me too, like, but I gotta tell you something. I was actually looking forward to seeing Taylor Swift's text to Blake. Like, I really was. But if you said that it's a federal case and we won't get to see things, and this judge is very accommodating, it's going to be very annoying because we don't get to see anything.
You know.
And then now we have this thing with the client list, or not the client list. It's just a list of people who he hung around with quite a lot. And I was thinking, like, do you think anything is going to come out of it? Because Prince Andrew was getting ready to come to America because he believed that the case had been dropped because Trump had announced the case is closed. Move it on, move along. So he was planning to come to New York, but now he's halted that because people are being called and subpoenaed to go to Congress. So now Prince Andrew is no longer making plans to go to the United States.
I mean, no mystery there.
I mean, do you think anybody will get arrested from that for reals?
I hope so.
Were you expecting for this to happen? Because we were led to believe that nothing like this was going to happen.
I think there were a lot of people that didn't want it to happen.
But why they change of heart?
Oh, wait, did Meghan Markle just launch her new wine?
Oh yes, sweetie, on her birthday.
Well, I thought she had it originally and it sold out though, right? She restocked it, or is this a new wine?
This is from 2023, or guys, correct us, 2023 or 2024. This is the newer.
But she had one and it came out and it sold out, and so now she has another one that she launched on her birthday.
Sold out, yeah.
Interesting.
She didn't have very much stock. And the company that she's providing with, they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and they're in the process of being bought by some other person. 2024, Blue Star says, oh my God, not even vintage. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be bitchy, but it's true. But I mean, 2024, 2024 Meghan. I mean, this is just so sad. This is really sad. It's like, and I don't know. Like, I'm wondering what is going on, because this woman was mentioned by Virginia Roberts to be called as a witness because she said she was around Prince Andrew, and she was a close associate of him at that time. I wonder if Meghan is going to be called as a witness. I wonder if she's going to be. I don't know, because Virginia Roberts, sadly passed away.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be very interesting, because I wonder if anybody from the royal family is going to be called out.
I don't know. I mean, I doubt it. I think they're more focused on like the government cover up here in the US. I think it's more of, who was trying to conceal things, who was pulling the strings, why were we trying to cover up Epstein?
Do you think so though? Or do you think that because they wanted everybody, all the names and stuff like that, and at one point Andrew was asked to come and testify. And he didn't, obviously, they couldn't get him to, the FBI wanted to talk to him. And he didn't want to go over. So, I mean,
I don't know what Prince Andrew, how he would be relevant to the US though. I mean, Epstein's gone, Ghislaine's been locked away. I mean, sure, we want transparency, but I don't think he's going to want to voluntarily come over here and be like, "Yeah, I loved it on the island." Like, he's not going to willingly do that, and I don't think the monarchy is going to sell him out, because then that only makes them look bad to find out whatever details, are going to come out with him. I think they'll try to conceal it just to keep themselves out of it. So I don't think there's anything super relevant when it comes to Prince Andrew, at least when it comes to the US's case. I think the Trump administration is more focused on trying to figure out who was concealing things, who was potentially destroying evidence, who in the government was aware of these things, who was complicit in these things, and trying to clean up the house here in the US, at least with the previous administrations.
do you think they destroyed any of the flight logs or anything like that? Do you think there's anything left there?
I
Because do
think
you
if
think,
there was, we probably would have seen it by now.
really? So you think that this is a no burger thing? It's not going to go anywhere?
I think if there was something, like, here's the thing. I think if some, I don't know who destroyed or who made. I mean, but here's the other thing: when you have somebody like, I don't know, I go back and forth with Epstein. I'm like, was he smart enough to keep track of everything so that he could blackmail people, or was he smart enough to not keep a paper trail so that he's protecting his clients and also protecting himself? I don't know. I kind of go, because I mean, we kind of also heard that with Diddy, like, oh, he had tapes on people, he had all
Yeah.
this evidence and these videotapes, and yet nothing ever materialized of that. Like, either somebody's deliberately getting rid of all of this paper trail, and if it was somebody, it's more likely that it was a previous administration that had access before this current administration started looking into things. And I don't think it was like I don't think, like, everyone seems to think that Trump was, part of all of the trafficking stuff. I personally don't, because I feel like if they would have had something on
Well,
him,
they would have
they would
gotten
have
it.
used it already. They would have put it. We would have seen it by now. I mean, they've been coming at him hard
With
for how
everything. I
many
mean,
years now, and the worst that they got on him was he, didn't label some invoices correctly and some hush money.
that's what I'm
So
arguing with people when they say, well, listen, if they had something on him, they would have pinned it on him, like for
they've been
real,
trying
guys.
to pin anything on him for years now. Look at how many lawsuits have come out against him. Like, they've been trying so hard
How
to
many
put this
lawsuits did
man
he have at
away.
one
And the
time? Like
most damning thing that
34?
they could have put out was about the Epstein list. And if Trump was involved in any of this, you have to believe that they would absolutely put that out, especially during this last election cycle.
That's my people say, oh no, 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 because they didn't want to sell themselves out. No, they would have immediately sold him out and would have destroyed any other evidence about themselves, because they've been holding that evidence. That's
Yeah.
just my point of view. You wouldn't
Yeah.
need to do assassination attempts. You just sell him out with the Epstein thing.
Yeah.
It's
You
like,
wouldn't need to have an assassination attempt. You would bury him with the Epstein stuff, and that can put him in jail. That would have been such a clear, solid shot that would have taken him out. And would have taken him out, and I think in a way that hurts him even more, right? Like,
oh yeah, I
he's
mean,
all
you're
about his
done.
image
People
and
really
his
hate
ego.
Epstein.
And if you associate him with Epstein, that's better than a kill shot with the assassination attempt, because then
Yeah.
he doesn't get to live in the aftermath of being this terrible, person that got locked away for this.
Yeah, no, no, but people, they say, oh no, no, no. Listen, it that's just my personal opinion, clearly, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, if they had to make things up and they had something like that on their docket, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just listen, hey, we have this, we got you, buddy. If they had something on him, I think they would have blackmailed him with it, so he wouldn't have run even.
Yeah. They would have
That's just
prevented
my
him from
opinion.
even running.
That's just my opinion, because we're gonna leak this, buddy, and you're gonna be done and over with before you can even speak and say, like whatever. But it's actually, I hope something comes out of it. I hope victims do get justice. I hope, I don't know what took so long, but we're there. And just one thing I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you know much about this, Candace Owens
Oh,
and
yeah.
Brigitte. I mean,
I'm excited for that one. I
I
call her Brojeet.
I really am too. What the hell is this man thinking? And I mean Brigitte. What the hell?
Brojeet.
Brigitte, yeah, Brigitte, Bobby, or whatever. And what the hell is this person's thinking suing a podcaster in the United States for freedom of what do you think this is about?
I mean, that's crazy. I have no idea. I think that's the fact. I mean, I think they were trying to do the Blake Lively thing and intimidate Candace and get her to stop talking. But if anything, I think this is just completely backfiring, and it's not going to get Candace to stop talking. If anything, Candace loves this shit. Candace is like so excited about this.
You can see her eyes is like, and when she said that, Trump called her to say, Candace, I've sat next to her. She's a nice lady. She looked like a woman to me, Candace. Because apparently Macron asked Trump, did you watch that episode?
No.
Can Trump call, Candace did a whole episode that Trump called her to ask her to stop talking about Brigitte because Macron, when he came over to discuss the Ukraine war thing and stuff like that, said that he would be more inclined to help end the war in Ukraine if he said, "Do you know this podcaster named Candace?" And he goes, "Yeah, I know Candace." "Well, can you get her to stop talking about my wife?" And then Candace went and did a podcast. Said, "I can't believe Macron wanted me to stop talking about his wife's penis."
Oh my God.
And he said, Candace like, and Trump is like, "She looked like a lady to me. I sat next to her. She didn't look like a man." Candace, it's like, and I mean, I am, the Streisand effect, right?
What's the Streisand effect?
Barbara Streisand was so angry that people, and then she asked people to shut up, and it had the opposite effect, and it went everywhere.
Yeah.
So now this is going to be the Macron effect because
Yeah, I feel like
Candace,
people kind of didn't like legitimize it and just was like, "Oh, Candace is being crazy. She has her series, whatever. Is Brigitte a man? Is she not? Who knows? Who cares?" And now I feel like everybody
I
is
saw
like
that
now
thing, they were like,
invested. Everybody's like, "Wait, now we want to know, is she a man or not?"
well, Zack made the ET meme. I was laughing my ass off, by the way. That was so creative, Zack. I mean, I was like, where did you come up with that thing? But I mean, ET looks cuter though. ET phone home. But I mean, that's going to be something because this person is stupid because, and they said they want, and Candice, you know what Candice said? "I'm not settling. I'm taking all this all the way to court. I want to get to discovery."
I know. Candace is ready. Candace is like, if you're not a man, then, let's do it.
But
Let's get into it.
if somebody said Paula's a man, I go like, "Dude, come and get blood
Yeah.
here." I mean, I won't
True.
even show you pictures. Just take my blood.
Yeah.
Like do a DNA thing. That's it. Game over.
Yep. I think they thought that this was going to make Candace squirm and run away, but in this case, I think it's having the opposite effect. Candace is leaning into it. She wants to go all in.
People say I would have loved to heard that conversation with Trump. Me too. She did a video about it. She was so funny. It's like, and she says she felt conflicted because Macron kind of made it like a condition to tell her to shut up so he would help end the war in Ukraine. So she's like torn. It's like, if I keep talking about his wife's penis, that means that more people are going to die.
Yeah.
And she just did a 2-hour thing with Tucker Carlson about this. And then she went and did a, I mean, Candace Owen is not, you're not shutting her up.
Nope.
Do you think this is going to go to court? I hope so.
I hope
really.
so. I'm
Oh my
ready. Take us to
God.
discovery. I want to see all of it.
But Candace says she's not backing down and she wants discovery.
Yeah, good.
She has to milk this. I mean, this is her moment.
Oh, she's loving it. She's loving every second of it.
Do you think they're going to go to court or do you think they're going to fold?
I don't know. I feel like they have too much to hide, and I don't think they'll be willing to get into all of the like. I think they missed the mark here,
But
and
I
I
just
think
don't
it's going to
understand
backfire
why.
on them, and I think they're going to fold. I
Because
just
she,
don't see how they can move forward.
but you know that Brigitte lost the lawsuit in France, right?
Yeah, she lost the appeal.
I mean, I really don't know. You know why people are really concerned though? Because, okay, guys, this is not me saying it, but it's Big Mike. It's like they're saying that Brigitte Macron, this is like a test run case because we know about Big Mike. And those of you who don't know who Big Mike is, go Google it. But so they're saying that this is like a test case for the Obamas, that they're really keeping a close eye on this one.
Yeah, yeah, because they're battling the same rumors.
But Brigitte is more like, I mean, like I'm torn about Big Mike, but Brigitte, I'm 100% on board with that theory because it's like, what, it's the easiest thing to shut down, especially when Candace asked her to sit down and ask her to answer yes or no questions. Are you a woman? Somebody asked me that. Yeah.
Pretty easy to answer that one.
she refused to answer whether it was a woman or not. She said that it was that her sexuality was nobody's business. Like, what on earth are you talking about? Did you give birth to your kids? That's none of your business. Yeah, I gave birth to my son. You know what? Let's get, like somebody said in the chat, let's just get it over here. Come take my blood or my
It's easy.
saliva, whatever the hell they
Yeah.
do nowadays. Because I'm old. I don't know. I don't even know how they do this DNA thing here. It's what
Yep.
is it saying here? Big Mike just forgave Oboso.
Yep.
Oh, they're back together.
The Obamas?
Uh huh. Because she was dissing him badly.
I don't know if they're back together. I don't think they're together. I think they've been separated for quite some time, and I mean, maybe they do some family stuff together, but I don't think they're like officially back together.
Did you see how she was dissing him on her podcast?
I know. It was crazy.
I was like, I was like, ooh. But no, I mean, so what do you think? We're going to round it up. But what do you think is going to happen with Blake Lively?
I think she's gonna take it all the way to trial, and we'll see if she's able to convince a jury. I don't think she'll be able to. I think if it's put in the hands of the jury, it's not gonna go in her favor. There's just no way.
I don't understand this. You know what? Sometimes I get worried, Zach, because I wonder what do they hide behind in their sleeves, up their sleeves, because why risk it unless she feels, and the judge apparently, I don't know, why risk it? Why would you risk that? It's like, do you think that she has something that we don't know about? Because I,
I
I
don't
would have
think
folded
so.
a long time ago. I would have apologized, right? It was my hormones. I just giving birth.
No, I just think her ego gets the best of her, and I think she's good. She believes that she can prove that she's going to be right at the end of the day, and they're going to do everything they can to try and hurt Baldoni's case against them. But it's not going to. I don't think the jury will believe her. To be honest,
At this point, I
no,
don't
I
know.
don't.
Well, we'll see. And what do you think is going to happen with Candace? I want to see your predictions here.
I hope it goes, but I want the discovery to come out. I want it to get messy. I want I want proof. Like why yeah, I think Candace had a lot of questions and there were a lot of, unanswered questions that we all still have about Brojeet, and I think we should get answers to those questions. And I hope that it does move forward. I hope that it does go to trial. I'm sure Candace is loving every second of it, and I'm ready to see this face off.
Do you think it's putting people off? Making podcasters or YouTubers scared of talking about this because there is a little bit of a
Maybe.
backlash about that.
Maybe, and I know, like, that was, I think, an intimidation tactic on Blake's team to subpoena all the different creators, and I think it's meant to scare people, but if anything, the more of us that continue to stand up and prove that we're not gonna be bullied into silence, like, the more, we will be able to, fight back.
You think so, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I hope they are. But this is Candace yesterday, 18 hours ago. And discuss Brigitte's jeans. She did like a 2.5 hour on Tucker Carlson. And then I mean, she's going hard on this. And I got to give her kudos for that because it's not an easy thing to fight when you have like a president of another nation.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of ovaries to do that. And I mean, I hope Brigitte. Yeah, that's how Zach says it, guys. And by the way, I'll leave you his link to go subscribe to his channel because he's just fabulous. And then but I don't know, it's like we live in a bizarro world with these people throwing all these lawsuits. They don't realize. Did you see also the Harvey Weinstein thing that Candace has going on with Harvey Weinstein?
I know she has a series of Harvey. I haven't seen it yet, though.
It's quite interesting because she believes him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think my understanding her position is it's more of the way they locked him up that was, they cut some corners. And so that's what he's kind of standing on, not necessarily that he's
Oh, no,
fully
she said he's
innocent.
a pig. She
Yeah.
says he's a pig, but being a pig, does that mean that he's a criminal pig?
Yeah.
There's a difference there, like
Yeah.
like because she says she has 3 boys, and if they can do that to any man, I can kind of relate to that,
Yeah.
because they can put you away not legally. That is kind of worrisome. So
Yeah.
in that regards, I do agree with her. That he's a pig, absolutely, oink oink everywhere. But for her, she's actually talking to him in prison. You can see him there live talking. I mean, she's doing really well. I'm really happy for her, and I hope she wins that thing, and I hope she takes him to trial all the way, because we all need to find out. Somebody said, so what do you care whether he's a man or a woman? What are you talking about? It's not even about being a man or a woman. The age difference.
Yeah.
He was 14.
Yeah, that the timeline of it is not good at all. And I do care if it's a man or a woman, because I care about
Mhm.
just being honest and the transparency of it all. Like why hide it?
Yeah, why come out and be proud about it? It's like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with this world. I'm still angry about the opening of the Olympics. What? Because she's the one who chose that kind of little theme on the Olympics, French Olympics, and I'm a Catholic. I'm still pissed about that.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining. In fact, I really want to thank you for joining us, sweetie. Please, I'm going to leave the link for Zach to go. You subscribe to this gorgeous, gorgeous hunk of a man. And we'll see you soon. Hopefully, you can come back and keep us updated. Let's see, because this woman keeps putting. How much is she paying? She's paying millions. If Okay,
Millions.
this question people ask me because I don't know the answer to it. If Justin loses the case, does he have to cover her legal fees?
Yes. That is something that she can be awarded. I mean, and as of right now, doing the math and looking at what her attorneys charge, she had 8 different attorneys that were there. I mean, that's an easy 50 grand just on deposition day, not including prep or post work, just on that day, 50 grand
Are
just to
you
have all 8 of those
serious?
attorneys there.
That's a lot of, I hope that's a lot of money. Do you think oh yeah, that's what I'm worried about, that this either she's very stupid or she's got something up her sleeve that is not very, I don't know. It's kind of worrisome, and I hope Justin Baldoni gets the justice he does deserve, and at least she
Yeah,
stopped harassing YouTubers.
yeah,
Because I saw this YouTuber, this Canadian YouTuber, I really like, and now she's not going to talk about her because she said that people were getting really vicious in the comments.
yeah. It's tough, and I understand, and I think that's part of what these subpoenas were designed to do, was to also scare people off.
I really like her. She's really funny. She's into branding and marketing. And now she says, I'm done with this because it's just got too vicious. People were threatening her and all kinds of things. Did you get any of that?
Do I get any of that?
Uh huh.
I mean, all the time. I don't let it bother me.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me, Zach. And you have a
Thank you.
wonderful day, sweetie. And please go subscribe to Zach. And thank you so much, Zach, sweetie.
Thank you.
Bye bye, guys.